GaySA Radio, we are family. I'm Hendrik, and I'm sitting here with Danie Hamman from Camp David. Danie, first of all, as a newbie, the person who comes into the club for a very first time, what kind of experience do you think they have, and what advice would you give them?
Well, some of them, they walk in and they say, "What now? What do we do?" And we tell them, "Well, take off your clothes, leave it here." And then they want to know whether it's safe and that kind of thing, and we say yes and so. Then they go to the bar, and I've got my barman is quite well trained. They explain to people what is going on, where is the dark rooms, where is what, and so forth, and how it works. So I find that usually people come in, they're very, wary about what's going on. Some of them stand around a while and then they ask, "Can we first have a peep?" And I say, no, people in there is not on show. It's not a window shopping experience. You either go in or you stay out, or they want to keep their clothes on for a while, for a few minutes or so. Now and again, I would allow a guy to go in, for a minute or two with his underpants on, but then he's got to come out. But mostly we say, no, either you go in, it's like throwing them into the deep water. And we're quite amazed how quickly people adopt. They walk in and the eyes go like round, wow. This looks interesting, because the next thing they see all this naked guys sitting around and chatting and drinking, continuing as if nothing in the world is wrong, and they hardly even look around. Some of them would look at the new guy that come in and, "Oh, okay, here's some fresh meat," kind of thing. But, you feel immediately within minutes you relax. And then, people usually get a drink from the bar, and then they sit and they watch the situation. And I tell you, it doesn't take 5 minutes before they're off into the dark rooms to go and explore what's going on.
What are the do's and don'ts? Let's talk about the do's first. What should you do when you go to Camp David?
Well, I should say you must be prepared to be touched and be sort of camped. I mean, if you don't want to do anything or don't want to have to do anything with anybody else, it's easier. Just push the hand away, or like at the bar, sort of give them a polite smile and ignore them, kind of thing. You've got to be prepared. And people, we do have a shower there, but you find guys coming there, straight from work, so use the shower. Then others don't. I would say, make sure that you are, clean. And also, some guys do not bother to, how shall I put it, wash their anuses or whatever. That's why we've got the douches there to clean that. And then, there's nothing really further that you must be prepared for, because we provide lubrication, we provide lubricant, condoms, all that kind of thing. That's basically all.
So, but you should come prepared to have some sex, or at least a wank or something.
Yeah, well, everybody are prepared for that anyway. I mean, otherwise, what will you be doing there? I mean, you're coming for that. That's what you're coming for.
So here he comes, he's fresh meat, and then an old buck like me would bounce on him. What you say there is kind of a sexual democracy. You can say no to somebody?
No, you can. Like I say, you just be kind, and sort of your body language or whatever you say. You can just say to the guy, "Sorry, I first want to have a drink." Be polite, kind of thing. If you don't want to touch somebody or don't want to have something to do with somebody, just sort of, give them the impression with your body language, or telling him, "Listen, I'm waiting for somebody else." Or
not interested.
Of course, you will find that if you go into the very dark areas where you can hardly see anything, what you feel and what you see in the light is two different things. You'll be surprised, because people, they go and they feel around there in the dark, whatever. And then when they come out sometimes where the light is and they see what they've been playing with, they get the shock of their lives, or the surprise of their lives,
Isn't it the same with the glory holes, where it's very anonymous there,
Yes, very.
So do you have shows? Do you have performances there?
We did have dances, naked dances, which even did live shows there. But I find it very, very difficult nowadays to get guys that do it or prepare to do it. I've got dances now and again, but unfortunately, most of them come there with the idea they're going to use my premises for their own personal advantages by handing out their numbers and tell guys, "Listen, phone me afterwards for a private session," and so on. That is not allowed. One thing is very important, which people must understand, that we are not a brothel. You're not allowed to pay for sex or receive money for sex. That's prostitution. So it's very difficult to find people that understand that want to dance there, But we do. Sometimes guys get in a jolly mood and they go on the stage and they dance on the pole, and we do body shots. They climb on the counter and we throw the key over them. We do body shots. That happens quite often. But I wish I could get more guys that can dance like I had. I've got a lot of guys that can do it actually, especially black guys and so forth. But transport is the problem. Most of them don't have transport, especially at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, I would definitely do shows, but like drag shows, that kind of thing, that doesn't go off at that place because that's not what people are there for. That is what you have your other clubs for.
So you're talking about prostitution. The other thing, I know many years ago also the police raided Camp David and said they were looking for kiddie porn and all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah.
There's obviously an age restriction and only for adults.
Yeah, we had the age restriction of 19. But nowadays the laws has changed, so we allow 18. You're not allowed to sell liquor to somebody under 18 anyway. So the age restriction is 18. The porn, that is why we've got the membership system. When you enter the club, you sign the membership memo, and there's the terms and conditions against the wall. That terms and conditions specifically state that you're not allowed to receive money or pay money for sex, and you're not allowed to use drugs and all that kind of thing. And that porn will not offend you, and other night people will not offend you. That is why it is actually a private club. What happens in there is more or less the same as what happens in your house. It's got nothing to do with the person outside in the street.
And just from the business perspective, obviously it costs money to run a place like that, to keep it clean, staff,
Yes.
all those sort of things. But obviously you've been in this business for a long time, so it must mean it is profitable.
Yeah, it is. Although things rent are getting more expensive, cleaning materials, all that kind of thing. But the reason why it's actually getting more and more profitable is because we're getting more and more people, especially since that new casino opened. There's a lot of staff that come there after their shifts, which didn't come before because of the distance. There's another thing. We've got people from Pretoria North, we've got people from Centurion, from all over that come to the casino, and then actually they make the 2-in-1 kind of thing. They come to the club as well. And then, of course, like I say, hotels become expensive. Crime has become a big problem. Here they've got the safe environment and it's not expensive. The entry fee or the membership fee is very cheap. I mean, it's actually a bargain. So it's a question of it's getting busier and busier. That is the main reason.
Fantastic. That's Danie Hamman from Camp David speaking to us here on GaySA Radio, where you are family. I'm Hendrik. Keep streaming.